Hello people, I am Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
We're gonna do a video that was recommended by Raw 2.0. This is called Kenshin Live Action, Kenshin versus GEIN. This is based on what?
Rurouni Kenshin, Samurai X.
I saw Rurouni Kenshin as a kid years and years ago because, not a kid, I was a grown up, but it was based on something my ex-girlfriend had recommended. And she's like, it's a really funny show, it's a comedy. And I bought her the DVD set and it was like grossly violent. People being chopped in half. I'm like, this is not a comedy. She's like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like I watched this other one and this one's like really violent. I have no idea what to expect here.
There were moments of like cuteness and comedy.
That's
there was
what
like
she
a
saw.
little love story. Then there were also epic battle scenes, and Kenshin is awesome.
Yeah, all I saw were violent things and I was like, wow, this is...
But he has a reverse-edged sword.
I don't know what that means.
That means he made a vow that he was done with killing and he would only use his sword to protect, but if he has to fight, the blade actually faces inside towards him.
You learn something new every day. I'll take that with me to my next job interview.
Whoa. He really looks like the character as well, like the anime character. Did a really good job there. What?
Who's laughing?
Dude downstairs.
The bad guy?
I think so. She like, she didn't die. Dang. It hardly seems fair.
He's got a sword.
Whoa. Oh no. He's exposed. He's exposed. Yeah, see?
Oh, it's reversed?
Yeah.
So he's not gonna kill unless he has to.
Yeah. When he means business, he flips it the other way around, and you know.
It must be a little bit annoying as a choreographer and stunt guy. I want you to do some fighting off camera, and then we're gonna pan to you, so we're gonna miss the first like 20 seconds of whatever you did.
Dang. He moves in a really interesting way as well. Gosh. It's really fast. Wow. Ooh! What? What?
Oh wow.
See? He's not killing him. For now. He's
gonna turn it around now.
Oh no. He's so calm. That's the cool thing about him. He's like so skilled as a fighter.
That's just to let you know I could do this.
I could have killed you,
But I'm gonna let this go.
but I didn't. Why did you do that? Whoa.
Capoeira.
Yeah, right? Did he kill him? Did he get him? He got him? Why?
You just tickled him in the airplane a little bit, right? Oh, that's a real Iaido movement right there.
To clean the
Yeah.
blade?
To clean the, it's kind of meaningless though because there's no blood on his sword, but the idea is to like wipe it.
It was cool. It was really exciting just to see real life, or how do you say? It was
Live
really
action.
exciting to see that live action version. I really did enjoy that anime a lot. He's a really cool character. To be someone who was like seriously a hardcore killer, he killed a lot of people in his past, and to kind of want to atone for those sins but still carry on being a super skilled swordsman, but
He's
just
like-
kind of changes focus.
He's like Apostle Paul. He was persecuting Christians. And then Jesus came to him and he's like, why are you killing my people? He's like, I'm sorry. How about I'm one of you now? And Jesus is like, cool.
That
It's
works.
totally the same. Exactly the same. I'm convinced Rurouni Kenshin totally ripped off the Bible. That's what happened. Or the Christian history.
Okay.
Because that's not actually in the Bible.
But what did you think about all of the
fight
like
scenes?
fight scenes and the sword work and stuff?
I was a fan of the choreography. I liked what was going on there. I think that they did some very creative and interesting movement and techniques and whatnot. There was a little bit of umph missing sometimes, and I'm not exactly sure why that happened. If the actors were just like not as confident with the movement, or if they were afraid of hurting each other and they were trying not to. But there were some movements that just felt slightly badly timed, slightly. Nothing too egregious that the average person would notice.
I didn't.
But like me being me and studying a bunch of fight scenes my whole life, I'm gonna pick up on those things. But it's not that bad. It's fine. Overall, I like the choreography. The issue wasn't that. It wasn't even the performance. It was the camera work. Like there were times where I couldn't really tell what was going on because it was really tight. You didn't need to hide the action. The actors were actually adequately trained for this. They looked like they were doing fine. It's not that they were deliberately trying to obscure it, but it felt like the action was obscured and it was taking away from my ability to enjoy it as much because I'm not familiar with the characters or the circumstances of surrounding the fight scene. I'm not invested enough to not give a crap about the bad camera work. So just going off of this alone, isolated in a vacuum, it's cool. There are positive aspects to it, things that I like. I like the little story within the fight scene of him not using the blade to kill the guy, and they established that. It was helpful that you had that information. He went from kind of in a panicky, don't touch me, because you got cooties kind of attitude, to like very calm and monk-like, just chill in the way he was putting his sword down and moving around the guy, like Neo versus Agent Smith at the end of Matrix 1. It was really good in that regard. I liked the story, and that's what's lacking in many fight scenes today is a really clear, identifiable story that was present here.
It's interesting what you said about the camera work, because I think that was the very first time where I actually felt it, because you talk about it a lot always. As I was watching it, I was kind of like, oh yeah, I really wish I could see more. I felt like the camera was moving around and I was like, I can't see properly what they're doing, because the guy with the little dagger, like his movements were so fast. I was like, oh, I just want to see more of that. I want to see what he's doing.
It wasn't as bad as Paul Greengrass or Christopher Nolan in Batman Begins or anything like that. But the only person to get camera movement right where it's moving a lot is in The Kingsman. That's the only time I've ever seen it where the camera's moving fast and you can still see what's going on. It's a little bit over stylized for my taste, but I can at least appreciate what was happening because I could see it in those instances. And I wish that this employed that more, because like when they're moving the sword around, for the camera to kind of follow that stuff in a very frenetic style. What I liked about this though is I could not tell if it was sped up. It was moving quickly, and that's part of what was making it feel like the moves weren't quite as intense. It was the same issue I had when I watched Atomic Blonde. All the fight scenes except for the last one. The last one was phenomenal, but all the fight scenes leading up to the last one, there was like this kind of missing energy there, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it other than maybe they didn't undercrank the frame rate enough with the film. And here it seems like a similar situation. They didn't want to speed it up. They just did it. And what you saw was the actor's performance. Like when they were there on set, you saw exactly what that was. It wasn't sped up, whether it was undercranked in the film or sped up in post. Like that's exactly what it was. And I think that this film could have used that, just like with Kingsman, because Kingsman was clearly sped up a little bit, and some of that frenetic camera work. Yeah, this wasn't overly stylized. It was just hard to watch sometimes because the camera was like this. I'm like, they're using swords. Can you like back up? Shit.
I want to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed that. I'm curious actually to watch the film. I want to see how they interpret it.
You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to Raw 2.0 for recommending it. You guys, please follow ACHARA KIRK on the social media. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films. And also consider supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/JabyKoay. If you like what you see on this channel and want us to keep going and doing the things that we do, then there's also stuff there.
Stuffs, lots of stuffs.
I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.